Hi, class. There's my daughter. She wanted to say hi to everyone.
Hi.
My all-star. She just made the all-star team. Okay, bye.
Bye.
So what a great chapter. Outdoor education. I was so excited when I read this chapter. Got me like all worked up about and ideas flowing in my mind about how to actually implement outdoor activities in a PE class. But it also had me thinking that I've never seen any school do outdoor activities. And how would you go about doing that? There's safety, needs to be board approved, safety issues, financial issues, a lot of issues that come up when thinking about rock climbing, unless it's an indoor activity, but still, there's still safety issues that can go along with that. So, as we're talking, as we are discussing the national PE standards, or which of the Shape America Physical Education Content Standards does the teaching games for understanding curriculum best support and why? I have to say, I think all of these standards fit, but if I hadn't had to choose one, I might go into a little more detail on each one. I would probably say standard 1 because when you're teaching games, and especially elementary school, you're really developing motor skills. And standard 1 says the physically literate, which I love, to be literate in physical education. I just love that terminology. Demonstrates, sorry, I have to move the screen over. Competency in a variety of motor skills and movement patterns. So when we're teaching games, whether it be kicking games, soccer games, volleyball games, baseball games, anything where let's just say baseball, for example. No, let's take soccer because I know a little bit more in games when we're playing soccer. I taught a bunch of 4 and 5-year-old soccer the last 2 years, and when you teach them a skill such as kicking and trapping and dribbling, you implement games that are going to replicate those skills. So we play Sharks and Minnows, which is a game that a lot of people play in soccer or swimming or basketball. I think you can play Sharks and Minnows and conform it to any sports. And it makes it fun. So their attention span is so small at that age, and they want to play games. And having those games that involve those skills and motor patterns that you're first developing and then you're repeating, the way we learn is through repetition. And that's how you meet your standard. So put those games in there. Standard 2, the physically literate individual applies knowledge of concept, principles, strategies, and tactics. When you go into your middle school and high school levels, and even in the elementary levels, when we talk about trap, put your foot on the ball. And then you can play red light, green light. Every time you say green light, they have to dribble the ball with just the right foot. And then they have to trap it with just the right foot. And then they have to sit on the ball with a different color, or we used to make them do a silly face or wiggle around. So knowing the principles and the concepts of the game, and then as you get older, you're going to learn strategies and tactics. 4 and 5-year-olds playing positions in soccer, it doesn't happen. They all just want to run after the ball. But they do know how to trap the ball, and they can kind of work on passing. But as you get older, you're going to explain the positions of the field, and this is for your 7-year-olds up, where they're supposed to stand, why there's a goalie, where there's forwards, the centers, in the back of the field, as well as any other sport. Knowing the terminology and the concepts helps you understand the game. Let's see. My favorite, actually, in all this is standard 3. The physically literate individual demonstrates the knowledge and skills to achieve and maintain a health-enhancing level of physical activity and fitness. And this is probably one of the main reasons why I love PE and why I think PE is so important, is because a healthy lifestyle is not taught enough. Obesity is outrageous. Knowing how to eat should be a part of any physical education class. And having physical education is fun. So the kids that don't like baseball or soccer or any of the normal curriculum activities people do in PE, implement an outdoor activity, tying knots, camping. I mean, why can't you have a whole unit on camping? I think that would be fantastic, right? You can use technology. We can use video games now. So getting people doing activities where they don't feel left out, where they're the last person picked for a team in baseball because that's not their skill. Implement something that's going to want to make them move and exercise, where they can actually use that for the rest of their lives, where they understand how important it is to eat healthy. I know so many people that they just weren't athletic as kids, so they're not athletic as adults. And anyone can be an athlete. It doesn't matter if you like sports or not. You know, everyone has the ability to move. So that's why that's my favorite and most outstanding, is the health concept of it all. I mean, there's sodas in every vending machine. Even the juice you give kids has tons of sugar in it. The foods these days, we're in a fast food environment because we're on the go all the time. We have no time for anything. So, I mean, my life right now, I'm really trying to be conscious of my kids eating. So I have to crock pot. We're always at a baseball field or somewhere. So that's, I think, what's really important to me and what sticks out in these standards. Besides, the outdoor education chapter, I really loved, and I really want to put in a camping unit when I become a PE teacher, where you're learning the life skills of CPR, first aid, how to light a fire with no matches, compass reading, orientating, hypothermia, how to stay warm, how to cool yourself, how to live minimally without food or water. I think those life skills, in case that something like that does happen to you, is really important. I don't have them, so I would love to learn them. And I think it's an important part of life to know how to survive in the duress of circumstances. Okay, well, that is my video, and I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed week. Thank you.